You know, you're swimming in it right now. We all are. A giant sea of information that doesn't fit neatly into a spreadsheet. I'm talking about the massive, messy, and frankly incredibly valuable world of unstructured data. And figuring out how to harness it, well, that's one of the biggest challenges and opportunities for just about everyone today. So let's dive in. So just how big of a deal is this? Well, to really get a handle on it, let's just look at the sheer scale of the challenge we're facing. And trust me, the numbers are kind of mind-boggling. Get this, an absolutely astonishing 90% of all the data in our digital universe is unstructured. Yep, 90%. That means for every 1 bit of neat, tidy, organized data, there's 9 times as much messy, unorganized information just out there.
And the floodgates are just getting wider. By 2025, we're projected to generate around 180 zettabytes of data. And you might be asking, what on earth is a zettabyte? Well, it's a trillion gigabytes. It's an insane number. And the craziest part, most of it is going to be this unstructured kind of stuff.
And what happens if you ignore all this, or if you just manage it poorly? Well, it comes with a staggering price tag. We're talking an estimated $3.1 trillion lost to the US economy alone every single year. A lot of that is because the most valuable insights are buried deep within all this unorganized data.
Okay, so with the stakes being that high, it's really crucial we get our basic terms straight. What exactly is the difference between raw data and actually useful information?
Think of it like this. Data is just the raw ingredients. You know, a pile of flour, some eggs, a little bit of sugar. On their own, they're not very useful. But when you process them, you put them together, you get information, which is a delicious cake. So a long list of student test scores, that's just data. But the class average, now that's information. Data is the what, and information is the so what.
And this brings us right to the star of our show, unstructured data. It's all the stuff that doesn't have a neat, predictable format. We're talking emails, social media posts, audio recordings, video files. It's basically the beautiful chaos of human communication.
And just look at the contrast here. On one side, you've got structured data. It's rigid, it's predictable, and it lives happily in its traditional database home. But on the other side, you've got unstructured data. It's wildly flexible, it can scale forever, but oh man, it's a nightmare to search and analyze with the old school tools. It's really the difference between a library with a perfect card catalog and a giant warehouse where all the books have just been dumped in a pile.
So let's really try to visualize this clash of the titans. The old, organized world of data squaring off against the new, chaotic reality that we're all living in.
For decades, the absolute gold standard for businesses was the data warehouse. You can picture it like a massive, highly organized library for all the numbers that make a business run. Sales figures, inventory, customer records. Everything had its perfect, designated spot on the shelf.
And this is what that super organized world looks like on the inside. It's called a star schema, and you can kind of see why, right? Everything is neatly connected to a central point, almost like planets orbiting a sun. And it's incredibly powerful for asking really complex questions, but it's also incredibly rigid. You can't just decide to throw a new kind of planet into the mix. It doesn't work that way.
But today, a tidal wave of chaotic data is just crashing over the walls of that neat, organized world. We're talking about everything from your latest social media post, customer emails, all the way to sensor data from a smart factory, and even the transcript from a Zoom meeting. None of this stuff fits in those neat little boxes.
And, this creates a huge problem. The traditional tools that businesses have relied on for decades, they just weren't built for this kind of chaos. So what do we do? How can we possibly start to make sense of it all?
Well, the answer isn't to build higher walls to keep the chaos out. It's to invent entirely new tools, a whole new generation of technology built specifically to tame that chaos and actually thrive in this new world.
So, first things first, we needed new kinds of containers for all this messy data. If a traditional database is like a filing cabinet with perfectly labeled folders, NoSQL databases are more like a collection of different sized boxes, bags, and bins. They are designed from the ground up to be flexible and handle pretty much anything you throw at them.
And they come in all sorts of different flavors. You've got document databases, which are perfect for storing something like a flexible product catalog on an e-commerce site. You have key value stores for lightning-fast access, like remembering what's in your online shopping cart. There are column-oriented ones for chewing through massive amounts of data. And then there's graph databases, which are absolutely brilliant at understanding complex relationships, like mapping out a social network.
But here's the thing. Just storing all this data,
It's kind of like filling a giant treasure chest. It's great to have it, right? But if you don't have the key to unlock it and find the actual gems inside, it's just a really heavy box of digital noise. And this is where the real magic happens. Technologies like AI, machine learning, and natural language processing, these are the keys to that treasure chest. They are the tools that can sift through all that chaos to find patterns and meaning. Things like understanding the sentiment in thousands of customer reviews, or predicting when a machine will fail based on its sensor logs, and yeah, even powering the incredible large language models that are changing everything. So when you combine these new ways of storing data with these powerful new ways of understanding it, something really amazing happens. What was once this overwhelming challenge, it transforms into a powerful, sustainable, competitive advantage.
So how do you actually do it? Well, it turns out there's a pretty clear roadmap for this journey. It all starts with just figuring out what data you have. Then you give it a flexible home. You put some rules in place to keep it clean, you connect it to your old structured data, and then, this is the fun part, you unleash AI to find those hidden gems and turn them into real-world results. And of course, you measure your success, and then you do it all over again, but bigger.
And this, right here, is the key takeaway. It completely flips the script. This data deluge, it isn't a problem that needs to be solved. It's a massive, untapped gold mine just waiting to be discovered. And the companies that grab their pickaxes and start digging first, they're the ones who are going to lead their industries into the future.
So let me just leave you with this one thought. The answers to your biggest questions about your customers, your operations, your next big breakthrough, they're probably not out there somewhere. They're already in your possession, whispering from within that beautiful chaos of unstructured data. The only real question is, are you ready to listen?